That shop that I found, I've just been back in now. Um, Getting on quite well with the fella in there now. Um, I've just bought this record. Hang on, let me plug my phone in. I've just bought another Madness record, which I haven't got. Oh, tell you what, that's supposed to be even hotter tomorrow. 32, they reckon. 32 too much. Anyway. Let me show you what record I bought. And then I'll give you another bit of news about the music. Hello, Jimmy. How you doing? West Yorkshire. Leeds, eh? Halifax, is that West Yorkshire? I used to know a girl from Halifax. Not too sure if that's West Yorkshire. Tell you what, people. Possibly Jimmy. Who knows, mate? I'll travel around everywhere. Birmingham, Liverpool, anywhere I go. Yeah, I used to know a very good, nice girl from up that way. And she used to come down here to visit her nan. We used to write letters and that to each other many years ago. Her name was Bernadette, lovely girl. So what are you, Leeds United fan? I would imagine. Sure, born and bred in Leeds, but who knows? Football teams are... I'm from a little village called Hadlow, which is in the countryside in Kent, but at the minute I'm in a town called Gillingham. Yeah, and I support Liverpool. But I only support Liverpool. I come out, my mum's a Scouser, so that's why I support Liverpool, people. Except my mum's an Everton fan, but obviously I'm not. My Scouse granny made sure I was a red. Yeah. Now, I can remember Leeds when they were pretty good back in the day. And if you want to go back, when the players used to fight on the pitch and all that, showing my age now. But yeah, I'm a Liverpool supporter. I think when you're a Scouser or like me, I come out of a Scouser, you're either red or blue, man. I think you're born into it. But clearly I obviously picked the right team. Not that I'm a bitter supporter. Obviously Man United, we don't like Man United. But there you go. That's football for you. Well, it's just so hot. Anyway, I'll show you what record I bought. I've just been back to the record shop, right? Spoke to the geezer in now. And check this out for £10. A Madness record, which I haven't got. So there's another one to the Madness collection, which was a steal at a tenner. I went through all it. I actually told him, I said, you've got some quite rare records in here. Obviously he deals in all records. I'm just two-tone. But I told him, you've got some quite rare bits there. And then I told him about these 600 records down here. I'll show you. I've probably got about 800 records that I don't play. And I said to him, do you buy it? He buys records. And he's interested in mine. And I said to him, look, I realise you got to make a few quid. You know what I mean? I get that. I get what the market is. But over here, look, I've got to sort my records out that are by my decks. But these, I've got 600 there. And what I told him, what my plan is to sell them 600, then invest that money back in the two-tone. But when you're selling records to a shop, you'll get a little bit more cash if you get store credit. So I might do that, because he's got quite a few rare items in his shop, which I wouldn't mind snapping. I've already got them, but I wouldn't mind snapping them up. But he said he searches for the mint copies, and I did say, I've got to say, I said to him, I said, your records are absolutely sparkling, considering they're that old. But yeah, we've got 600 there. And what I'm planning on doing is selling that 600 and investing the money back into all my two-tone here. Got like specials all there. Madness, two-tone The Beat, UB40, Selector. He's got some very good Selector albums, which I haven't got. Yeah, but I think that's the plan. I started off with loads of records, but then I went down that two-tone hole. To be honest, it's pointless keeping records, do you know what I mean, that you're never ever going to play. I might as well sell them, invest it into the market, which I know about. I don't know about all the other markets. I know about the acid house music and sort of early rave scene. I'd say I know that market. I don't know the two-tone market, but they're the only two sort of music movements I've been involved in. Obviously, when I was a kid, it was just when the two-tone come out. When that went, when I hit about 17, 18, that's when all the parties started in the fields. All the illegal parties, the acid parties, kicking in warehouse doors and all that, putting your decks up, Genesis, Rain Dance, I've been to all of them. Dreamscape, you name it, I've been there. Yeah, so I was quite into that. But then it got to about a few years back, started getting a few two-tone bits, and then Ranking Roger, just that's how the channel started. Oh, so damn hot in here, man. It's going to be even hotter tomorrow. I'm lucky, really. My dad's totally English. He just goes red. I'm English, Irish, and Spanish, so I've got a bit of Spanish blood in me. So I just go brown. But I still don't like the heat. Saying that, I suppose it's better than the rain, but I've got to put all these records away, man. I had a bit of a vinyl session and I was just sticking them all there, not putting them away. That's one of my pet hates, man, putting your records away. It's wicked. I found a shop that's interested in all them. I said to him, do you buy records then? He said, yeah. I said, I'll bring you a few down. And his eyes lit up when I said 600. I've got a lot of like hard house, trancey sort of shit, garage. Just don't listen to it, man. But this new album is absolutely wicked. And for £10, man, Utter Madness. I ain't got this one. Our House. Driving in my car, waiting for the ghost train. Michael Caine, Uncle Sam. Wings of a Dove, Sun and the Rain. Some good tunes on here. And I've no doubt this actual record is probably in really mint condition. And it is, look at that. I've got to say, that record shop, and I've been in record shops all around the land, and I told him, I said, you've got the best two-tone selection I've ever come across. Normally, I go in these record shops, there's a specials album, I mean, there's a couple of records, but I've been in that one round there. He's got a whole section, man. Madness, specials, two-tone. Best shop I've come across. Not only that, when he buys these records, he searches for really mint, nice, clean copies. And you've got to think now, all the old ska music and that, it's all getting on a bit now, like me. Do you know what I mean? It's getting old. And to find the mint stuff, it's just unreal. I think that's where people have had collections, right, and just put it in a loft and forgot about it. And then pulled it back out. But yeah, he's got loads in there. Loads of mod music. Not that I've ever been a mod, never been into the music. When I grew up, there was a couple of mods in our village, but most people were just rude boys and skinheads, man, when I grew up. But if you look at the skinhead movement, skinheads were originally black fellas. Proper rude boys, they were black, the skinheads, and then obviously the National Front got hold of it and tried to cling along to it. But nah, I wouldn't say skinheads are racist. That was just the National Front saying that. In fact, all the music I'm into, really, Specials, Madness, that all derives from proper rude boys. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Crazy, eh? All that early stuff on Trojan, man. Desmond Decker and all that. Do you know what I mean? Just unbelievable music. I'm all out of air, people. All out of air. I've got to sort some records out then for that fella. I said to him, I said, I realise everyone's got to make a few quid. I'm not looking for loads of money. Do you know what I mean? I'm just looking to out them. It'll probably give me more cash store credit, but then I can just clean him out of his records. Because I keep telling him, man, I keep putting ones out, going, this is quite, because he knows the market, but he don't know as good as me. Do you know what I mean? He's got a shop which is got everything in, but obviously I know the market of the two-tone. I keep telling him that's worth a few quid. Hello, mate. How you doing? I'm all good, mate. Just bought another Madness album, and yeah, it's all good. And loads of records that I'm selling. The geezer in the shop wants them, I think. But I just bought this Madness LP, which I haven't got, for £10. So I'm quite impressed with that. And I'm quite impressed with the fact that he's interested in all my other records. Chances are I'll sell them to him and then buy his records out of his shop, because he's got some real. And what I like about his records is the covers. The record is just proper quality. You expect a few little marks maybe here and there. Do you know what I mean? It's old music, but everything I bought off him is just immaculate. But he did tell me today he searches for the good stuff. I said that's the way to go then. I said then you're always going to get a buyer. But he was quite impressed when I said I've got about 600 plus to sell, because obviously they buy records as well. And he was saying, he said he's had a lot of kids, a lot of youths coming in for tapes. The tapes are coming back in. No, it's with the police now, mate. It's out of my hands, mate. It's with the police now. It's a theft, basically. So I'm going to let them do what they got to do. But, that's where we are. I reported it. It's all down. I said to the police person, what is it classed as? It's classed as theft. So that's where we are at the minute. Like I said, the final ball I was holding. They thought they held the final whatever. Well, they didn't. I did. Like I said all along. No, I'm not. Well, we don't know why. It's illegal what they've done, to be honest. Because Marcy Pepper doesn't like me. But either way, they've broken the law, and they're going to have to answer for that. I said to Steve, my social worker, he said you could put in a rather large compensation claim there. I think I could. So that's where we are. I listened to the police girl. I gave Clarion 2 or 3 days to get back to me. And they didn't get back to me. So I went to the police, and my social worker, I've just spoke to him, he's got back off holiday. He said I'd probably have quite a big claim. Obviously I've never been in this situation before, so still takes a piss, doesn't it, really? And it's illegal, whatever way you look at it. There's no legal way of keeping someone's belongings if you're the landlord. It's just illegal, full stop. They're basically depriving you of your belongings, which once it was at a civil point, and then as soon as they didn't give me my belongings and I went to the police, it then went to a criminal. Yeah, I am, mate. Like I said, I already knew what the law said. Where they have to go away and consult their solicitor, I don't. I've already consulted the old bill and said to them, what happens if this happens? And they said, that's fair. So I've just followed what they've told me. We give them an ultimatum, which wasn't the first one they've been given. I've also gone through my evidence, which I did the other night. I've got a briefcase here. And inside here is loads of evidence. And there's a letter there from Amy. A letter there from Amy, which totally destroys Clarion. And that's from a social worker. So they're not really going to have a leg to stand on. No, they're not allowed to do. I said to my social worker, I wonder how many people they've done that to and got away with it. But it's out of my hands now. They're going to investigate it. I've got written evidence. They've thrown my stuff away. So even if they say, no, we ain't done that, well, you seem to have put that in writing. Yeah. Crazy. Do you think the amount of people they might have done that to, who maybe aren't as loud as me, might be a bit shy or timid, you know what I mean? They wouldn't even say boo to anyone. Well, I'm not like that. Yeah, mate, definitely. I'm going to go right to the end, mate. I either want my stuff back or compensated for my stuff. And the good thing is, where I've got a YouTube channel, everything I have has been on my channel. It's all on there. It's all on here. Do you know what I mean? That's why I do the blogging and that as well, to tell you what's going on and that, because I can always refer back to these videos. When they say, oh, you didn't have that, I can, well, I did have that. Got all my dad was an engineer in a submarine. I've got all these tools they've thrown away, all my granddad's tools, all my great granddad's tools. Fucking crazy. Saying that, I've remained quite, even my social worker says, oh, you've remained quite calm and collected through it all. Because I'm thinking, normally I'd react and I'd be locked up for reacting too much, but I'm just taking it as it's, you know what I mean? I'm actually following the law. That way, I'm going to win. But yeah, everything, my little cooker was brand new that I had. Okay, and I've got a Hoover, which is a washer as well. I've got loads of stuff, man. Me and my dad sort of went arse and all of that. It's all good stuff. They just took the piss, man. But that'll be dealt with. Because they're going to be found guilty anyway. There's no way that they can say that they ain't, or there is no defence really. The only defence they have is to say, well, we contacted him 10 times and never had any answer. Well, if that was the case, right, they still got to put your belongings into storage. So they've completely flouted what they're supposed to do is give you your belongings. So I'm led to believe that they have thrown it all away. Which is just ridiculous, really. But it's all good. It's all good now that the police have taken over. I said to my social worker, I'll just let them deal with it now. And Steve was right. I said, they've only given us 2 times to go and get my stuff. The first time I was ill, the second time we went and we had an hour. I said, can you just confirm that is right, Steve? And he went, yep, that is right. See, because I've never spoke to Clarion, see, what I've done, I've got what's called an advocate, so they can speak to Clarion for me. So I haven't got to talk to them. That way, I can't tell them to F off or anything like that and get in any bother myself. And I've done that. I've followed it down to the word. Crazy, eh? 1 hour. They're lucky, really, that I've got my records out. Otherwise, I'd probably be locked up. Because if I found out they'd thrown my mum's records and that away, who knows how I would have reacted, but couldn't really see me being calm over that. But what can I do? Do you know what I mean? They put Marcy Pepper in front of me. I can't touch her. She's a female, so as much as I'd like to strangle her, you can't do them kind of things to females. Do you know what I mean? I know that. But if they used to roll a bloke out in front of me, I'd probably give him a right-hander. But that's just the way it is. But yeah. Crazy. Especially some of the bullshit they come out with. It's unreal. Especially now we've got to this late stage, which is the final stage. But the best news I've had today off my social worker, he said, I've spotted something in Gillingham. I said, what's that then? A Specials tribute band are playing at the Glass House in September. So we'll be going live from that one. I'll see if I can get a few interviews and get behind the scenes. Obviously having a two-tone channel kind of gets you in there a bit more. But yeah, we'll be doing that. It's down the road. How about that? In fact, I'm quite looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward, even though it's a long way off, is Christmas Eve, when every Christmas Eve I go to Tunbridge Wells and watch the beat. Well, exactly, mate. They've just been very off with me from the word go. It's because it's been going on 13 years and I've never given in to them. I think that's what it is. They're probably used to reducing people to complete messes the way they carry on. But I said to Steve, they're not going to crack me up, man. I'm already half cracked up, man, because of my ADHD. It's not going to push me over the edge. But it is pretty crazy. But it's all done now. By them trying to bullshit out of it. Which they can't. I've looked at every aspect of the law. And they're not covered at all. Oh yeah, that's what my social worker said. He said it might not even go to court, Phil. They might offer you a payout to swerve court. So you're right on that point. I'll have to write it down, add if you do a bit of maths, and we'll see what it comes up. I might want to go to court. If what they offer is ridiculous, we'll go to court. And I'll turn up with all my evidence and make them look rather stupid. And I'll represent myself, that's no bother. I've represented myself before, I know how it all works. But now we've gone over into the criminal element. I am going to ring my solicitor. Not that I've been in any trouble, but I'm going to just run it by him. But yeah. What a scam. Probably because I just never complied to everything they were saying. But I didn't have to comply, do you know what I mean? Well, it was the first time I met Marcy, like I said, she was probably used to people with disabilities that have got learning issues, and I haven't. I don't think she liked that. Anyway, I'm going to have a roll up. Then I've got to ring this guy, see if I can get something. Been given someone's number for a bit of smoke. I've got a contact now, but I've got to say that someone, give me a certain person, give me the number. Crazy, eh? I seem to be meeting lots of new people lately. Every day I'm meeting new people, females and males. I think what it is, everyone knows everyone around here, and obviously I was a new kid on the block. But now everyone's all right out there, man. Obviously there are darker areas you could probably dive into, which would probably be a bit dangerous, but all I do is buy a bit of smoke. That's all I do. Crazy. Where's the cup? I've got to have a tidy up, man. I can't remember getting in the other night. All I know is there's records everywhere. Woke up next door hammer drilling again. But it's all good. You look at me. All these records I've got to put away. Big pile of records I've got to put away there. Saying that ain't too bad in here. One of my drones. Me learner drone that was. The G10. And my new drone that they sent through is working like a dream. In fact, what I was going to do is put all my drones there for a minute. I don't know what I was doing the other night, but can't remember getting in. I go down the high street every night for a wander after midnight. It's when all the crazies come out. Saying that, all they're doing is just listening to music, lurching about on the street. I've approached a few of them, they're all right. Saying that, I've been warned by about 5 or 6 locals. Have your wits about you, but I have anyway, so I expect they're probably looking for people that are easy targets, and I'm not going to be one of them. But yeah, I quite like it out there late at night when all the dodginess goes on. But then again, really, I've sort of come from that kind of world anyway. I suppose if you've never been in trouble, you've never been to jail or never done anything wrong, it would probably be a bit scary down there, to be truthful. Um, but obviously the life I've led, it don't really bother me, man. The way I look at it is whatever they do to me, I can do to them. Um, but yeah, same as when I went to Birmingham. I went to all the dangerous places. I quite like going to the dangerous areas. Don't ask me why, but once you get chatting to these people, I think they realise that I'm just like them. I can think like them. Do you know what I mean? Thank you. I'll just let it all just happen now. But yeah, I used to walk around. My brother Mark, he lived in Brixton for about 15 years. I used to go up there and walk around, which is probably a lot more dangerous than here. Then again, it depends what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? If you're out there trying to get involved in everyone's business, you're probably going to get a visit. But I don't. I'm just out there looking about. Yeah, crazy. Anyway, I was rolling a roller. It's supposed to be even warmer tomorrow. Got to try and find a swimming pool. And they've thrown away my boxing stuff, man. I'm going to have to buy new boxing gloves and shit. I'm going to start going boxing up the road. Well, in Chatham. But all my boxing stuff's in my house. Well, in the bin. It's just unbelievable. Oh yeah, I guarantee these. Yeah, I understand that these young uns live by different rules, but it's all good. Because there's no consequences anymore. Back in my day, your drug dealer was quite a hard person. Now everybody and their uncle is a drug dealer. Do you know what I mean? Where they got guns and knives, it's just too easy to shoot someone, isn't it? If you take the gun off them and have it 1-to-1 with just your fist, they'll probably get smashed to fuck, which is probably why they're tooled up. But saying that, if I come across someone that is tooled up, I'm quite easy to get tooled up myself. I don't carry anything. I'm out on the street like this. I don't carry any weapons, but I can soon find a weapon. Obviously, if someone pulls a shooter out, you're on your toes, mate. You're gone. If you've got any brain cells and you ain't got what they got, get on your toes. No, I suppose that would depend if there's more than one of them. If it's just one of them, it depends how close they were to me. But obviously if there's 2 or 3 of them, you don't really want to be challenging them without a gun yourself. Not that I'm saying gun crime is good. All you youths out there watching this, you ought to put your fucking guns down. Really. Same with a knife crime. Which I'm a bit more, I'll be able to defend myself a bit more against the knife. With a gun, you ain't going to be able to defend yourself But with a knife, I could probably defend myself. Or grab the hand that the person's got the knife in. And once I get within headbutting range, I get an headbutt. The joys of being 6'2" is I can launch quite a tasty headbutt. Normally I'd use my fist, but in situations like that, just nut 'em. Yeah. Not that I've come across anything like that so far. But someone did get shot around here a while back, I was reading. That's probably related to drugs, possibly. Crazy, eh? Anybody could shoot anyone, can't they? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, just wasting your life, carrying a knife out there, or a gun. Just wasting your life, man. If you get caught with that, you're going to be sitting in Nick Man staring at them walls. Oh yeah, I agree with that. Like back in our day, your mum or dad would give you a slap round the head, do you know what I mean? For being naughty or whatever. Now, there's no consequences. They can do what they want. As soon as you... And there's a big difference, right, between giving your kid a little whatever to make him learn that it's wrong, or her, and child abuse, you know what I mean? There's a big difference. Personally, I grew up getting a slap round the arse when I was naughty, and I think a lot of my pals was getting the same as well. I wasn't classed as really bad, but obviously now, whether it's right or it's probably wrong to hit a kid, but you could weigh that up both ways, really. But saying that, there's still quite a few of them out there with manners and that. I've stopped a few of them and asked for like camping spots and that, and they've all told me where the good places are. But I do see little groups out there that is no different from when I grew up, really. Except we was in a big gang, whereas over here it's little gangs. There's no postcode war like here. You get into London, and then you're talking postcode wars where the kid that you went to school with and grew up with, just because he lives in the next road, you want to blow him away? You're blowing your old pals away, mate. I've never understood that. And it carries on in prison, you know. And all them Herberts, you know, postcode wars, they all carry on, man, in there. Really, they'd be stronger as a big unit. But, yeah, crazy, eh? How the gangs have changed. Crazy, eh? Wanting to kill someone because they live up a different road. What's that all about? Craziness. I know I couldn't blow anyone away unless I had a bloody good reason. And to result to murder, they would have had to have done something really horrific to me. That's my morals. But I think these people today, just where they got no morals, it's just boom, boom, you know what I mean? Which is just bollocks, really. We can all go out there and get a weapon, buy a gun. but you're going to get a lot of jail for that. I think you're allowed to carry a blade, but I think the blade's got to be 3 inches long, and that's it. It can't be a lock knife. It can't be a flick knife. It's just got to be a little 3-inch blade that pulls out. That's legal. And I've got to say, in a hard situation, that could help you out, man, legally. Not that I've got one. That's what the law says. Crazy. Yeah, exactly, mate. It's postcode war. The thing is, all these youths grew up together. In my day, in Adlow, you had one big gang that used to fight sort of East Peckham and mainly East Peckham, other villages, but you was all together. Whereas now, they're just little groups, all from the same area. They should all get joined together. They'd be a lot powerful a force, but they choose to just... That's crazy. It's like me going, I don't know, down Carpenter's Lane and wasting people just because they live in Carpenter's Lane and I live in Oak Avenue. But it weren't like that in my day. You had one big Adlow gang and that was it. You wouldn't have dreamed of beating your own people up, do you know what I mean? And I was one of the younger ones in the gang. But back then it was all different age ranges, man. It was like fucking, I was small, young, but there was the older ones and that. But now it's just crazy. Anyway, I'll be back later. Whatever you're doing, have a good one. I'm going to charge my phone and put the rubbish out.